So currently, I get a lot the question, what can I do to not be so overreacting to situations? Or how can I gain control over my emotions in situations? So there's a lot of news, there's a lot of happening in the world at the moment where you get easily triggered. Yeah, so you see something and you hear something, and then you create an emotion to what you see and what you hear. Also, for example, when you enter rooms, sometimes we feel awkward or we meet people, we just see them and we have a thought about them. Or for example, someone is coming to you and saying, you look like a movie star. And then you feel like, I'm looking like a movie star. And then the next moment, the person is saying, just kidding. And you're like, oh, yeah. So this is just a small example, but it's how you can see how fast your emotions and what you think are connected. And it's so human, like everyone has this the whole day. Like our brains trying to make logic, try to bring logic into situations. So we always try to find a pattern with everything what we see, everything that we experience. And yeah, so it's very normal. Pictures, things that we read. And I'm switching a lot of environments, so I feel different atmospheres. I'm in different countries, and it's for my brain, it's a bit exhausting because you adapt to one environment and you kind of predict situations, or you get used to it and you go into another environment, and maybe also more close-minded or open-minded. So people react different to you, or yeah, so it's like, especially when you're a spiritual coach, like people have so many opinions about you, and yeah, sometimes you get triggered. So I'm actually I'm used a lot these days, because I'm actually also in an environment where I get triggered all the time, and sometimes we also choose these environments to face our pain, to face something that's inside of us. Because when we get triggered by something, it's not the situation, it's something inside of us that wants to talk to us. Our heart wants to tell us something, and we just project it to the person. It's something you always hear, it's nothing new, but actually I think it's something else to understand it. Yeah, so, and to accept that it's something inside of you and not outside, and then you can take responsibility for it. It's not like, and this is also already triggering for a lot of people, because it's like, oh, I cannot blame anyone, I have to look inside, and it's scary to look inside of you and admit that you have maybe a lack somewhere. I don't want to say lack or something to discover, it's more like a discovery in the end. But yeah, so here's one thing I want to share with you, and I heard it from Michael Singer actually. He was writing the Surrender Experiment, and yeah, he has a very pure, nice energy, and I really like how he is explaining his spiritual path in very simple techniques. So one technique he was talking about, and I'm actually using it, and it's amazing. It's kind of magic, so that's why I want to share it. Is the technique that when you get into a situation, so this is very common, probably hear, that you first just observe your emotions, your thoughts when you get into a situation. So when you enter a room and you feel awkward, when you see someone, you think something, that you start just to observe what's happening, and observe your emotion. So when the emotion is there, you go into this emotion, you see where it's in your body. You actually also, the more you go inside of it, you can also make a wish that you want to release. You just release the emotion and it gets easier. But the next thing that he is telling, and it's so simple, he's like, just relax into the moment. So every time when you go into a room and you feel or think something, you just remind yourself to relax. And you start this practice with meditation and other stuff. But when you get into an everyday situations where you feel awkward, or you want to ask them, it's more also for people that are more shy, yeah, or if someone comes to you and it's like triggering you, you just relax into the moment. So in this way, so normally you have a pattern how you react to situations, but when you relax into the situation and into the moment, you give a different energy to the situation, and then also a different outcome. So you change the whole energy of the situation. And I did this now for a while, and I have to say it's crazy. Like, I got better deals at the car rental and all of these things, and it's really working. So that's why I really want to share this with you. When you at the moment in a tense space, or you feel like attacked, or you feel like a lot of fear regarding the news, that really observe your emotions and your thoughts and trying to relax into the situation and see what happens. Yeah, so it's very simple, but it's very, very powerful. Yeah, and follow me if you want to hear more, and if you want to, so I'm talking about this more in my newsletter. If you want to receive my newsletter, then just comment with newsletter and I send it to you. See you.